start the bulletin with our top focus this hour as the national capital continues to breathe poisonous air. The Supreme Court has now pulled up Delhi and its neighbors for the pollution crisis in the national capital. It has made some stringent observations over the Delhi pollution mess and has also slammed the centre and the state governments for passing the buck and their failures to curb pollution. Stressing that the choking air quality is responsible for the murder of people's health, it has also asked the states of Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh and Rajasthan to stop stubble burning immediately. Now, he's also identified the stubble burning as a major contributor to pollution. Justice Kaul said that he witnessed stubble burning in AAP-ruled Punjab himself. Questioning the AAP government over its failure to control farm fires, he stated that it's Punjab's job to ensure that it is stopped. Not just that, it has also made some local SHOs responsible for implementing court's direction when it comes to stubble burning under the supervision of DGPs and the state secretaries in Delhi's neighboring states. In fact, in a significant observation, the Apex Court also said that its directives on firecrackers applies to the whole country and not just Delhi, putting the onus on citizens. The Supreme Court also said that curbing pollution is not just the responsibility of the court, but the entire nation, and that a celebration by polluting environment is all about being selfish. Well, these are, in fact, the observations of the Supreme Court, which has, of course, come down hard against not just the Aam Aadmi Party government, but also government of states across the Delhi NCR region. It is also talked about how stubble burning seems to be the major contributor, with Justice Kaul himself saying that he witnessed stubble burning himself. My colleague Pulkit joins us on the broadcast with more information on this. Pulkit, significant remarks these by Supreme Court, not just talking about the Aam Aadmi Party, but also the other governments in the Delhi NCR region, and also talking about stubble burning, which a lot of people have already been blaming for the pollution in the national capital.
देखिए, अगर शुरू से देखें तो कहीं ना कहीं पॉल्यूशन को लेकर सिर्फ राजनीति होती नजर आ रही है। यही वजह है कि बीजेपी, आम आदमी पार्टी, कांग्रेस तमाम एक दूसरे को निशाना बनाने में लगे हैं। लेकिन सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने जिस सख्ती के साथ ये निर्देश दिया है कि तमाम सरकार, चाहे वो केंद्र सरकार हो, राजस्थान, हरियाणा, पंजाब, दिल्ली, ये सब बैठकर इस पर चर्चा करें, मीटिंग कॉल की जाए, और साथ ही एक जिम्मेदारी भी तय की है कि स्थानीय एसएचओ की जिम्मेदारी होगी अगर किसी भी इलाके में पराली जलाई जाती है। अभी भी मैं आपको दिखाऊं कि दिल्ली के अंदर बहुत ज्यादा पॉल्यूशन है, जिसकी वजह से चिंता न सिर्फ सुप्रीम कोर्ट बल्कि नीचे स्तर पर भी आम लोगों को है, और कदम जो उठाए जा रहे हैं वो कहीं ना कहीं नाकाफी नजर आ रहे हैं। साफ है कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट में ऑड इवन को लेकर भी चर्चा हुई है, तो ऐसे में यह भी संशय सरकार के सामने बना हुआ है कि क्या ऑड इवन जो लागू होना था 28 तारीख से, वो लागू होगा या नहीं। ये ऑब्जर्वेशन जो सुप्रीम कोर्ट की थी, जो पूरा जजमेंट आएगा, पूरा कॉपी आएगी, तो उसके बाद में सरकार फैसला लेगी कि ऑड इवन को लेकर क्या तैयारी की जानी है।
जी पुलकित, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद इस सारी जानकारी के लिए. That was my colleague Pulkit there talking about the situation in the national capital. The pollution still continues to peak. The AQI meters are still high, but at the same time, what's more important is the observation that is coming from the Supreme Court, which is not just talking about the responsibility of the government, but also of the citizens to ensure that while celebrations happen, they need to ensure that environment is also taken care of. But the Supreme Court, which was unhappy, has also summoned the Delhi Pollution Body Chief. Delhi Pollution Control Committee Chairman Ashwani Kumar has been summoned by the Supreme Court for reportedly shutting down the 2 smog towers in the national capital. The Supreme Court has said that Delhi cannot be made to go through this toxic air crisis every single year, and it has directed the operationalizing of the 2 smog towers immediately. My colleague Ila joins us on the broadcast with more information on this. Ila, significant remarks these by the Supreme Court. On one hand, while it is talking about the government's responsibility, it has also now said that these 2 smog towers which were shut down will have to be made operational at the earliest.
Well, absolutely. These 2 smog towers, which were made after spending crores of rupees and crores of tax money payers' money, these smog towers were not working in national capital Delhi, and only the politics and blame game was going on. And seeing that, only the Supreme Court has made its remark, and also now the Environmental Minister Gopal Rai has said that only after reading the order of Supreme Court, they are going to decide that from 13th of November they are going to implement odd even scheme. But how effective does the people think odd even scheme is? Let me go across to our resident of Delhi. सर, मेरा पहला सवाल यही है कि बढ़ते हुए प्रदूषण को देखते हुए जैसे दिल्ली अब सरकार ऑड इवन की बात शुरू कर चुकी है, तो आपको क्या लगता है ये सोल्यूशन है?
It won't be beneficial to anybody. It's quite serious. If somebody has to go to the hospital or to the airport to pick up someone and to drop one, it is his gadi number is for the odd, and if he is going for the even number, then it's very difficult for him. Then he has to run for the taxi and all this. This is not a solution. They should find out some solution, permanent solution. They should take the concrete step, how to control this pollution. And then they have put this tower here in Canard Place, but these are no tower is working. This is a wastage of money, taxpayer money. They are wasted. No action. Nobody is there to see whether this is working or not.
Sir, how do you see is government taking any kind of measures on ground?
This government is not taking any action on controlling the pollution. For the last 2-3 years, if you see the back, 2-3 years back, they were blaming the Punjab Prali. Now their government is there in Punjab. Now they are blaming the Haryana Prali. Haryana government, they are running the Prali. But they are doing a lot of chalans in Punjab also. But they are keep mum. They are not blaming their own government. They are blaming the Haryana government only because that is a BJP government.
How is the citizen of National Capital Delhi suffering? What kind of problem you are facing? What kind of issues you
People
are
are
facing?
suffering. सांस लेने में उनको तकलीफ हो रही है. जो senior citizen है, they can't go for a walk in the morning. They can go only after 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock or in the evening 3-4 o'clock. Their morning walk is totally stopped. And which is very they can't do any exercise there in the park. There a lot of pollution is there. All this asthma, it creates the asthma. The people who are having asthmatic, it is dangerous for them also.
So do you think like implementing odd even could change the picture of Delhi?
I don't think anything can be changed. It is only the harassment to the people. That's all. I feel this is my personal view.
Okay, that's what the people are saying here, that it is their tax money and they are the taxpayers, and they have the government have spent crores of rupees in creating and building these smog towers which are not even functional, and that is why now Supreme Court has summoned Ashwini Kumar in this regards as well. And also now Supreme Court has said that not only just Delhi but all other states have to contribute to minimize the air pollution because it is health hazard in National Capital Delhi. The AQI is in 300 to 400 category, which is in very poor category. And today the picture was slightly improved, but it is not better. It is still hazardous. People are facing difficulties like they are having chest pain, breathlessness, and itching in the eyes. Over to you, Ashit.
Right, Ila. Of course, with the kind of reactions that you're getting in, it's very clear that the residents of the national capital are livid with the government, and the fact that there is a political blame game also happening clearly goes on to show that there is only anger which is out there on the ground. And of course, the smog towers, which are also not functional, the Supreme Court has now taken into notice. In fact, just a day after the Delhi government announced the return of the odd-even scheme amid deteriorating air quality in Delhi, the Supreme Court has questioned the efficacy of the flagship scheme. Now, the Supreme Court has raised questions about the success of the odd-even policy and has remarked that this was only about optics.
हमने ऑड इवन लागू करने के लिए क्या क्या नियम होंगे वो आपको सूचित करना था. हमने निर्णय लिया है कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट का ऑर्डर आने के बाद एक बार हम उसको स्टडी करेंगे और जो जो सुझाव या जो जो ऑर्डर में सुप्रीम कोर्ट का निर्देश आएगा उसको फिर इनकॉर्पोरेट करते हुए उसके अनुसार हम अपनी योजना को बनाएंगे.
Well, this is the Delhi Environment Minister talking about the odd-even policy, which has been a highly publicized policy of the Delhi government. And while on one hand, this is what the Delhi government is also talking. My colleague Ishika joins us on the broadcast to get us more information on this. Ishika, that odd even policy of the Delhi government has been a highly publicized scheme from the Arvind Kejriwal government. And on one hand, while they've claimed that this has worked, the citizens also had been bearing with it, considering the fact that it was helping environment, or at least that is what it was being said. But now the Supreme Court themselves have come out and said that this possibly was just mere optics and it has not really helped citizens in any way.
Well, certainly, Ashish, as you rightly mentioned, the odd even scheme was a very ambitious scheme of the Arvind Kejriwal government. In fact, even now, they continue to emphasize on the fact that this certainly they believe will bring, a drastic change in the air quality level here in the national capital. But, today, in fact, we learned that in the Supreme Court hearing, Supreme Court has, in fact, said that, it's not actually showing any result and might be just mere optics. Now the BJP has also intensified its attack on the Aam Aadmi Party-led Delhi government because they say that they have been, raising this issue that the odd even scheme does not have any data backing it as to how impactful can it be on the ground. And they say that now after this, the government should actually be implementing something towards permanent solution rather than giving, citizens more difficulty. Now, Ashish, we have been talking to citizens also on the ground, and they also have said here that, it might only be increasing their difficulty here because, considering the fact that one family majorly has one vehicle with them. So certainly they are saying that their difficulty is going to be increased rather than, these measures having any impact, any good impact on the ground. Over to you.
Right, Ishika, like you also pointed there, citizens were bearing with this particular scheme despite the inconvenience, given the fact that it supposedly was helping them deal with the pollution. But the fact that Supreme Court itself has now raised serious questions, again, it will be interesting to see how the Delhi government reacts to it. But just moments after the top court wrapped the state governments and the centre over political bickering and blame game, our chosen netas have also again started doing the same. After the top court wrapped the Aam Aadmi Party government over pollution crisis in the national capital, Bharatiya Janata Party has now slammed the Kejriwal Sarkar for turning the city into a gas chamber. The BJP has asked the Aam Aadmi Party to now stop blaming other states for the capital crisis.
देखिए, आम पार्टी का जो लक्ष्य है खाली भ्रष्टाचार करना, लोगों की जनता की नज़रों में धूल झोंकने का काम है। आज सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने जो निर्णय लिया है साफ साफ दिखाई देता है पंजाब के कारण दिल्ली तक का पोल्यूशन फैल रहा है और ये उस पर राजनीति कर रहे हैं और दिल्ली के अंदर कहते हैं कि पंजाब के अंदर पोल्यूशन नहीं है। या इनको बताना चाहिए कि जो आपने केमिकल बनाए थे जिसके कारण से प्रणाली का सब्स्टिट्यूट था उस पर करोड़ों रुपया खर्च किया, क्या उसके लिए माफ़ी मांगेंगे आप? जो गांव वालों को आपने प्रभावित करा था कि हम पराली का ये सब्स्टिट्यूट देंगे, आप क्यों नहीं कर रहे? आप नियम कानून नहीं चला पा रहे, वहाँ पे आपका शासन है कि शासन नहीं कर पा रहे, वहाँ गरीब लोग किस प्रकार से धुएं के कारण मर रहे हैं, किस प्रकार से बुजुर्ग लोगों को सांस लेना दुभर हो रहा है। साफ साफ दिखाई पड़ता है कि आप शासन करने लायक नहीं है, खाली जनता को गुमराह कर रहे हैं। वो दिल्ली के अंदर भी वही हालत हो रहा है, दिल्ली की जनता त्राही त्राही मचा रही है।
आज सबसे ज्यादा जो मुख्य कारण है दिल्ली के अंदर प्रदूषण का 48% कारण जो है वो पराली की वजह से है और डाटा चीख चीख कर कह रहा है पंजाब से जो पराली आ रही है हरियाणा के बनिस्बत आप जो हरियाणा को दोष देते थे 10 गुना ज्यादा आ रही है। एक एक दिन में 4-4 हजार मामले आ रहे हैं, लेकिन आपके अंदर इतना दम नहीं है कि आप पंजाब के मुख्यमंत्री को बुलाकर तलब करते हुए उनको ये कहें कि पंजाब से की वजह से दिल्ली वाले दम घुटू जिंदगी जीने को मजबूर हो रहे हैं, आप कृपया पराली को रोकिए। वो आप नहीं करेंगे। क्योंकि पंजाब में सरकार आपकी और आप जब अमरिंदर सिंह की सरकार थी तो आप चिल्ला चिल्ला कर कहते थे कि पंजाब का कसूर, आज पंजाब का कसूर नहीं होगा। इसलिए मैं कहता हूं कि ये जो सरकार है में कोई विजन नहीं है।
Well, these were, of course, the political reactions coming in and the political parties blaming each other. But here at Mirror Now, our focus continues to be on what the citizens need to do and what they need to ensure that they are safe during this particular season now. My colleague Inderjeet, in fact, spoke to NEFRON chairperson Dr. Sanjeev Bagai on the harmful effects of the toxic fumes which are engulfing Delhi and the national capital region. Dr. Bagai advised strict use of N95 masks and a regular consultation of doctors. Listen in.
सबसे ज़्यादा दिक्कत होती है बुजुर्गों को या फिर प्रेग्नेंट लेडीज भी काफी वल्नरेबल होती हैं और बच्चे भी काफी वल्नरेबल होते हैं, तो ऐसे में उनको क्या करना चाहिए? क्या उनके लिए सॉल्यूशन है ताकि ये पॉल्यूशन उनको ज्यादा अफेक्ट ना करे?
ये बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन है। जो छोटे बच्चे होते हैं उनका जो रेस्पिरेटरी रेट, जो सांस लेने का जो गिनती है पर मिनट, एडल्ट्स के हिसाब से ज्यादा होता है, तो वो ज्यादा एयर लेते हैं अंदर और ये टॉक्सिक फ्यूम्स ज्यादा अंदर जाते हैं। दूसरी बात है, बच्चों का जो एयरवे है वो, उसमें जो वाइटल कैपेसिटी और जो रिजर्व वॉल्यूम रहता है वो कम रहता है एडल्ट्स के हिसाब से। तीसरी चीज, जो बच्चे का एयरवे है छोटा होता है और नैरो होता है, तो इन चीजों के साथ इन बच्चों में ज्यादा डैमेज होने का असर, संभावना ज्यादा होती है। जो एडल्ट्स होते हैं, जीडियाट्रिक एज ग्रुप, जो बुजुर्ग होते हैं या कोमोर्बिडिटीज होती हैं, उनकी इम्यूनिटी कम रहती है, जो उनका टी सेल फंक्शन होता है वो कम होता है, तो ये इन्फेक्शन और इन्फ्लेमेशन को फाइट करने में इतना ज्यादा कॉम्पिटेंट नहीं रहते हैं। जो कोमोर्बिडिटीज हैं उनको दवाइयां लेनी बहुत जरूरी है, और जिन लोगों को एस्थमा या वीजिंग की और एलर्जी की हिस्ट्री है उनको इनहेलर लेने की जरूरत है, और डॉक्टर के साथ आपने रेगुलरली कंसल्ट करना है ताकि आप